So that's
Okay.
me.
Were we already recording? Because it just said, okay. Yeah, go ahead. We're good.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Karen. So today's March 15th, or I'm sorry, March 5th, 2014, and this is our recruiting interview segment for the Fast Track series. And so tonight, what I'm going to go over is how to do an interview with your leads that you generate at your shows, through your list of 100, or while you're out and about. A call later in this series is going to address the common hesitations that you receive from your leads because we don't have enough time to go over everything. So we're going to just kind of focus on the interview. So online, I posted on Facebook, I posted the 2 documents, and I think everyone has them now. I can't see Mel, but everyone else, thumbs up? Okay. And then one is the Join Us interview document that we'll be going over. And then the other tool is the labels that will go into the Join Us brochure. And the third one, which I didn't post, is the 40 guests in 4 minutes, but I can post that after, unless you all have that. I think as we go through this, keep in mind that this is kind of a sterile environment. But the cool thing is we're going to recommend that you have these 3-way interviews with your director, and you're going to have probably about 2 to 3 of them, if not more, with your director over the next couple weeks. So with that, you'll have more practice. So don't worry about getting everything on this first call. But before we get started, I wanted to, before we get started setting up the interviews and doing all of that, I wanted to go over some numbers with you. Do all of you remember the first call that you had with Karen, and she talked about 1/3, 1/3, 1/3? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. So if you are in front of 60 people per month, except for Mel, she'll be in front of maybe a few more, maybe 90. But if you're in front of 60 people per month, about 6, which is about 6 shows or 10 guests, you'll get about 1/3 of those people to take home information. So that's 20. And then from those 20, you're going to get about 1/3 that will agree to meet with you. And that's about 6. And they're going to agree to meet and learn more about the business. And from there, you're going to have, from those 6, you're going to do the recruit interview, and about 2 are going to join your team. So when I first got started, and I remember thinking when someone said that they agreed to talk to me, I was like, I'd call Karen up and say, oh my gosh, I have my first recruit. Woohoo! And then I soon realized that they're agreeing to meet with us to talk and see if it's a fit for them. So our job is to inform them and give them as much information so that they can make the decision, and we can influence them to make the decision to join our team. So that's why it's so important to be in front of as many people as possible, and to have a show schedule where you book 8 and you hold 6. Because out of 60 people, you're going to get 58 no thank yous. So I wanted to ask you all if, oops, my page got mixed up here. Oh no, I lost my page. Okay, that's not good. Okay, that kind of stinks. Okay, so this is what you have to do. You have to improvise here. I wanted to ask if you're willing to get the 58 no's, though thank yous. If you don't ask anyone, you're going to definitely get the no's that are, you're going to get 60 no's. If you don't ask anyone, you're going to definitely get 60 no's. So what I like to say is, if you knew that if you asked 60 people, you would get 2 people per month, which is 24 people a year. Would you be happy with getting 58 no's? Isn't that cool? So I look at it as the big picture. So I'm willing to get as many no's as possible so that I can get those 2. So with that, I can't believe I lost a whole page of my thing. So I'm sorry, Karen, you know my brain today is just like, what is going on? Okay.
Well, I'll just jump in with
So
one thought. I was going to say
thank you, please.
when it comes to an interview, we don't judge the success by whether or not the lead says yes or no. We judge the success of the interview by, did they get the information they need to make an informed decision? And their decision might be no thanks for right now because it's not a good fit because of other things that are going on in your life. That has nothing to do with how well you interviewed. It's just their decision. So
Right.
judge the success by, did you give them the information they needed to make a good and informed decision for themselves?
Thank you, Karen. Okay, I still can't find the document, so I don't know what happened to it. So I'm just going to have to figure out what I wanted to talk about tonight because it's like a whole page that's...
Well, let's just go to the interview then.
Okay. So, well, no, before I do that, I wanted to just kind of talk, about the documents. Okay. So that's probably the page that I'm missing. So with it, you have your labels, right? So on your one form, it has the labels and then you have the interview. Forget about the interview page with the 7 questions right now. Go to the label page. I want to talk about this because as we go through, you're going to actually put the labels onto the Join Us brochure. There's little numbers on the left side of the labels that say 4A, 1, or 2A, 2B, and all that. Oh, I found my page. So anyway, on that, you're going to actually do the label each page, starting with this page on the inside. Mark this as page number 2, 3, and then so on. Just go all the way to the very end and it's page 11. So as we go through the interview, as Karen and I go through the interview, you can take those labels and just stick them onto the page and you'll be able to follow along with where I am. As I do the interview, I'm going to hold this up and I'm going to show you what page I'm on just so that you can be on the right page and then know where to put the stickers. But before we get into the interview, I just wanted to go over how I set up the meetings. So one thing, when I set up a call or a meeting, you want to do it within 24 to 48 hours of meeting that person because the excitement's still there. The longer you wait, the more they will have that little person on their shoulder telling them that, oh, you can't do this, or you shouldn't even talk to this person, or they're going to start to come up with conclusions on their own about how the business works. So you want to really address it and get them on your calendar right away. What I recommend doing is for your first few calls is call your director, find out what her schedule is in the next 24 to 48 hours so that when you meet those people at your shows, you're ready to say, let's do 2 o'clock tomorrow. So you're going to have that all written out and you'll be able to actually put a physical time down that you're going to be interviewing. So the other thing, what I always ask when I do my interviews is I ask the people if there is someone in your life that has a big influence over you in your decision making. It's usually a husband, a wife, a mother, a father, or a best friend. If you do, you want to ask them what their questions are about this business, what their concerns are, and also you want to even invite them to be on the 3-way call with you, or if you're meeting someone in person. So now that you have everything that you need, you know how many people you're going to be interviewing and talking to in a week or in a month, we're going to actually go over how easy the outline is to do the interview. So with that, we're going to, I talked about the brochure, we're going to talk about the first part of the interview, and it's just really getting acquainted with the person, kind of building that rapport with the person and finding out their why. And then once you do that, the biggest thing is listening. What I find is us as new consultants sometimes like to talk a lot. We get really excited. And when you do that, you're not hearing sometimes what the person is saying. And I think Karen or someone told me I had diarrhea of the mouth when I first got started because I talked a lot. I got really, really excited. You didn't say that, Karen? Okay, then maybe I said it to myself. But anyway, what you want to do is you really want to listen. You want to address their concerns, their areas that they're excited about, and really focus on those. And then there's some 7 questions on this list of interviews that we're going to do a mock interview, and Karen's going to be my interviewee, so you'll be able to follow along. The second part is going over of the interview is going over the Come Join Us brochure and using what you learned during those initial 7 questions to kind of pull it together and focus on how this business fits into what these people want out of it. The third part is just kind of finding out what their interest level is. And then the last part is to figure out when they're going to get started, depending on, or the next steps. So we're going to go into the mock interview. So are you ready, Karen?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, so Karen, it was so nice meeting you at Mel's party the other day. And I have to say, you were so excited about that food chopper that it was actually, I think you sold more of those because I didn't even use it. And I think I sold 3 or 4 food choppers at that show. So, what I am curious is, when you decided to talk to me today, when you decided to talk to me today, what most excites you about Pampered Chef?
Well, I love the products. I mean, I've owned them for years, and I haven't owned a product that I haven't loved. But when you were talking about the flexibility of the income and how you can work around your family, that definitely appealed to me. I mean, I need that. I've got 3 little kids, and that flexibility was amazing.
Yeah, and I think I'll definitely be talking more about the flexibility and stuff as we go along. But have you ever done anything like this before?
No, I actually haven't, and that's what kind of makes me nervous. I wonder, oh my gosh, am I going to be any good at this? Because I have no sales experience at all.
Well, you definitely don't need sales experience to do this, and we have the most incredible training. So we can definitely work together, and Pampered Chef has a lot to help with that. So the training is incredible. So what kind of work experience, I'm curious, that you've had in the past?
Well, I was a nurse and worked in the hospital for about 10 years. And before that, I was a nurse's aide. And, I did a little waitressing when I was in college and stuff like that. Pretty typical stuff.
Yeah, so no, that's really cool, and I've never been a waitress, but I've always wanted to actually do that. But nursing, wow! So if I ever get injured, I'll be calling you, which is good. So, do you belong to any clubs or organizations? Anything? Church groups?
Yeah, I mean, I go to a church and I do yoga a few times a week. Other than that, not too much. Besides that and my kids, it pretty much keeps me busy.
Wow! And so, tell me about your kids. How old are they?
I've got a 4-year-old, a 2.5-year-old, and then one who's just a few months old.
Wow! So you have quite an active childhood in your children in your group. That's pretty cool. I remember those days very fondly. Uh, so, what about? Are you married?
Yep, I have a husband. He's a fireman.
Yeah. Oh, very cool.
Got crazy hours. Thus, the flexibility was very appealing to me.
Okay, perfect. Okay. And then if you could think about how much time you'd want to give to this business, what are you thinking you could put in a week?
Yeah, not full time or anything. I mean, I could see myself maybe putting in 15, 20 hours a week, like a part-time thing.
Okay. And we can definitely make a business work, and you'll be pleasantly surprised at what you can get for putting 15 to 20 hours into this business.
Okay.
And then if you had an ideal amount of money you'd like to make a month, how much would that be?
Well, I need at least $600 to $800 a month, right off the bat. And I don't know if that's realistic based on the time I'm going to be putting in, but that's kind of what I'd be looking at initially. Is
Yep. And I definitely, and we're going to go over a little bit more, but I can definitely see the hours that you're putting in or can put in and the amount of money. You'll be pleasantly surprised. You might even make a little bit more or possibly a lot more. Yeah. So you have this little booklet that I went over, and so what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of go through, and if you can go to page 1, which is you'll love having your own Pampered Chef business. Can you turn to that?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I see it right here.
Okay, so one of the things that I love about Pampered Chef is that so many people have found it to be a great way to get what they want out of life. If you knew that you couldn't fail, what would you love this business to give to you?
Well, like I said, I need to make at least $600 to $800 a month, but I guess if I knew I couldn't fail, I wouldn't mind making more than that. I have no idea what's reasonable, but more would be even better. I could definitely like that.
Yeah, and we're going to definitely help with that, and I will show you ways to even make some more.
Okay.
So if you look at the next page, I know you mentioned flexibility and money, of course. But when you look at this page, what appeals to you the most, and what would you like to learn a little bit more about as we go through the booklet?
Well, definitely the money for sure. I never really thought about being my own boss, but it does appeal to me now that I think about it. Not just the flexibility, but that being an own boss thing is very appealing to me, and fun. I mean, yeah, that's another thing I never really thought about. Because I'm looking to make ends meet. But as a nurse, it was very rewarding, but not a lot of fun. And gosh, all I did was laugh at Mel's house for 2 hours straight, and I thought, what a great way to make a living.
Yeah, and I love the fun part about this job. It is definitely the flexibility has helped me a lot with my business also. So, but yeah, I'm excited. So, okay, so we can definitely do fun. We can definitely have you your own boss, and we can definitely get you some money doing this. So, if you go to the next page, the beauty of Pampered Chef is that you are in the business for yourself, but you definitely are not by yourself. The great thing is how much support we have, from the great products to all the training that helps you be successful. So from this, I always love to read the mission, because to me, it's near and dear to my heart. It means a lot to me and my family. So, I don't know if you've read the mission or had an opportunity to read it, but, Pampered Chef, we're committed to providing opportunities for individuals to help their God-given talents and skills to their fullest potential for the benefit of themselves, their families, our customers, and the company. We're dedicated to enhancing the quality of family life by providing quality kitchen products supported by service information for the customer and the consultants. So with that, to me, it kind of touches home. I started this business so that I could have that opportunity to help others, spend more time with their family. So I hope that, I don't know, does that kind of help you understand what Pampered Chef's about?
Well, yeah, since I was a nurse, I kind of got into the service. And, I sort of thought of this as, I'll do this for a little while. I didn't really think about the mission behind it, but that's amazing. I'm really happy to learn that the company has such a great mission statement. And
yeah.
I also like that I'm in business for myself. Well, you said for myself, but not by myself, which is good, because like I said, I've never done anything like this, but I trust you'll be helping me along the way. So.
Oh, yeah. And so looking at this, any questions about the support and the training that you're going to be getting?
No, it looks good. Talking about, I read this over before, and, talking about the website and the training from the home office as well as you. So it looks great. So it makes me.
Yeah, and one thing with the training, Pampered Chef has lots of varieties of training, so it's flexible. So that fits your flexibility that you have or want. So you could do it late at night when your kids are sleeping, which is what I did. Okay, so if you go to the next page, we have 2 kits, and our new consultant kits give you everything you need to give the business a try for less than what most families spend at the grocery store each week. So you get not only the products, but all the great training, business supplies, and even a personal website for 90 days for free. Have you thought about which kit kind of looks more appealing to you?
Oh, I definitely would want to go with the big kit. I can't believe for $159 I'm getting like $600 worth of stuff. So that includes everything. There's no other hidden costs or anything like that. I really get everything I need in there.
Yeah, so you're going to get the paperwork, you're going to get everything. And the nice thing about Pampered Chef is we are moving to a paperless, except for the catalog, of course, a paperless environment. So what's nice is you could just type everything right into your computer, and then send the customer the receipt, which is really nice. But I have had consultants that are successful with the small kit or the large kit. And if you notice, there's a sampling of each of our products in there. Our stones, our cookware, our cutlery, some of our more popular items. So everything you have is what you need to be successful.
Yeah, that was my husband's big concern. Okay, the kit's that much, but then how much else? So it's good to know I've got access to the website and then all the catalogs and stuff too. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. So you'll be able to get all of that.
Okay.
I know you attended Mel's show. Had you been to any other Pampered Chef shows prior to that?
Yeah, I've been to a few of them, and I love them, and I had so much fun at Mel's. Yeah, definitely. It's good to get out and get a time with adults.
So what was the thing that you enjoyed the most about our show? Besides,
I love, trying out new products, seeing what's new, things like that. And I'm not the greatest cook. I need to sort of, but I love if I see a recipe made, I'm more likely to make it at home. So I really enjoyed the whole thing.
nice. Okay. And I don't know if you knew this, but did you know that an average host saves about $150
Really?
in products?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's great.
Yeah, so when you think about the host benefits, and the cool thing is Pampered Chef pays for the host benefits, so
Oh,
we don't have to worry about any of that. They figure it all out for us.
hmm.
So, have you ever, or have you thought about some of the people who you think might want to have a few friends over for a fun night and get a shopping spree on the Pampered Chef from the Pampered Chef?
Well, I mean, I haven't really talked to anybody yet, but I've got a couple of sisters, and I'm assuming they'd each probably have a party. Even if they weren't all that excited about it, I think they'd do it for me. And my mother-in-law loves Pampered Chef. The first party I ever went to was one that she invited me to. So she's big into cooking, loves Pampered Chef. So I think she'd have a party as well. But other than that, I haven't really given it too much thought.
Yeah, and the other thing. You mentioned that your husband's a fireman.
Hmm.
So, if you look at your husband, you actually, do any of his coworkers have wives?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, and are you friends with any of them?
Oh yeah, we all hang out together. Yeah.
Yeah. So that could be a whole nother group of people. And,
Yeah.
your kids, do they go to any kind of daycares or anything? Not so much daycare, but, schools or play groups or anything?
Yeah, I got my younger two I take them to a play group on Wednesday mornings, and then my daughter's in preschool. So yeah, I didn't even think there's a lot of people there too. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, and I was that having your two sisters and your mother is a great start and everything, and so we can definitely put our heads together, come up with maybe a few more ideas. But with your husband and the play groups and the daycare, or not the daycare, the preschool, that can definitely help. And I think you mentioned that you also belong to a church, so.
Oh yeah, and we're always looking for fundraisers. This would be I think you said you could do fundraisers, right?
Absolutely. We do fundraisers, and there's different ways of doing those. And I can definitely talk more about those with you when, if you're wanting to approach the church and see about that. And then yoga, you could kind of focus on some healthy eating shows, which is really good, kind of getting that cleansing out of your body. So,
Yeah, I've met a lot of
because
people through yoga, and so that would be yeah. Yeah. Oh, I guess I know more people than I thought I did.
yeah. And the one thing is you said that um, so does that make you feel more comfortable about who do you know and how to get some, like what you're thinking about for shows, or
Yeah.
how to invite people and kind of spread the word that you're going to be if you decide to be a Pampered Chef consultant?
Especially where you mentioned they save about $150. That's good. That's something that I can wrap my brain around, and I can kind of say that. And I think that'll appeal to a lot of people.
Yeah, and just having fun, and use that Mel's experience from her show, that you had so much fun hanging out with friends and stuff, and just learned a great new recipe. And people like that too. So if you liked it, I'm sure all of your friends would like that also. So now you said that you'd like to do about 15 to 20 hours a week. And so what that is that equates to probably about 3 to 4 shows a week, because a show is on average about 4 hours. So let's look at what kind of income you could possibly make by doing 3 to 4 shows a week.
Okay.
So if you go to the next page, so if we worked closely together to get you those 3 to 4 shows a week that you said that you wanted, look at how much money you would be making
Oh
a
my
month.
gosh.
Yeah, so how would you like that? $1,300 to $1,800?
Because I was already working 4 days a week as a nurse. So, and this seems a lot easier. Wow.
Yeah, and the shifts, the cool thing is the shifts are about going out of the house. You're at the show 2 to 3 hours.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, so no more 12-hour shifts, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. Nobody's
And
life in my hands. This is great.
yeah, and so that's definitely something, and we work to help you get those shows lined up and everything if that's something that you decide you want to go to. Now, looking at the next page, this is how our commission is kind of going. So if you sell $1, you're going to actually make 20%. So and going in, doing even 2 shows a week, you're going to be pretty close to the 4,000 mark, which is the 25%. So you can make it's every month that this happens, and it starts over the first of the month, and it's based on commissionable sales. So looking at that, most consultants, if you look at the cost of the kit, you said you wanted the bigger kit. Most consultants can make the kit costs back in 2 shows if they get the big one. If they get the smaller one, 1 show.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
So you're making some money right away with the Pampered Chef, and you get the products. What was that?
So how much do people make about per show? Like what's the show?
Usually about $100 per show as a new consultant. That's based off of a $500, $475 to $500 show average, and that's common for us around here. And yeah, so and the more experience you get, and the more you go through the different trainings and you feel more comfortable with the shows, your show average is going to go up. Some people have close to $1,000 show average in the Pampered Chef.
Wow.
So that would be a lot more, obviously. If you're doing, so you could pretty much double your income as you move up. So any questions about how the commission works?
So you said commissionable sales. What does that mean?
Yeah, so as people buy things, it's pretty much the guest sales minus, and it doesn't include shipping and the tax. So Mel's show, you added $5.25 to your order, and then you had some tax. Well, you're in New Hampshire, you don't have tax, but depending on where you live, there might be tax in Massachusetts. But so it's minus that, and so we get commission on that. So does that help?
Yes, thanks.
Yeah. So any questions here about the commission or how much you'd be making with Pampered Chef on a monthly basis?
No,
or could be making.
I love the idea of doing 3 or 4 parties a week. I just, I mean, and I feel like I know a little more than I thought. I'm just hoping I could find that many, but so.
Yeah, and no worries. As I mentioned, we're going to work closely together. If this is the direction you want to go in, we'll put our heads together. We'll work closely, and I'll give you a few ideas as we move forward so that you'll have a nice full schedule to what you want it to be. Okay. So if you turn to the next page, one of the things most people look at direct sales as a good part-time way to make some extra money, but aren't always aware that there's bigger income opportunities. So did all of you know that less than 10% of American, or did you? Sorry, not all of you. Sorry. Did you know that less than 10% of women in America make a 6-digit income? And out of those 10%, 80% of those are doing it in direct sales.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So that's pretty sweet, isn't it? So with that, looking at the scale, what level kind of intrigues you? Do any of these levels, the income levels?
Yeah, which one are you?
I am an advanced director.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I am. I know. It's nice. And so what's great about this is the potential. Unlike corporate America, you have to wait till someone dies or you have to wait for someone to retire before you can move up. But if I want to move up or if you want to move up above me, go, you can definitely do that. So there's no ceiling on, the Pampered Chef and the opportunity.
Okay.
So, the other thing you had mentioned, you wanted to do more than 2 shows a week, but if you're thinking about that, we definitely want to consider doing and talking about the Fast Track program that Pampered Chef has. This is unique for new consultants, and you can actually make a $2,000 cash bonus in your first 6 months of business if that's something that you are interested in.
Yeah.
So on top of your commission, you could potentially make $2,000 more.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty sweet, huh?
I've been working way too hard as a nurse for all these years.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, there's lots of other things. There's lots of these cool pictures. Looking at these pictures, what picture over here most intrigues you?
The ones that look like they're traveling to exotic places.
Yes, so Pampered Chef actually offers their consultants an extra bonus every month or every year that you could go on a trip.
Oh,
So wouldn't that be nice to take your family on a trip every year?
it would. How many parties do you have to do to get that?
2 shows a month.
2 shows a month?
I mean, 2 shows a week. Sorry, 2 shows a week. Yeah, no. 2 shows a week. So if you're doing 2 shows, you can definitely earn a trip, which is really nice. Yeah, and this year is Disney, which is pretty sweet.
My kids would love that.
I know, and it's for a family of 4, and your little one could just kind of sneak into everything. So, one of the things. Any other questions that you have for me?
No, I think I was wondering about the income, and I was kind of wondering who else would have parties, but you made me realize I know a lot more people than I thought I did. So, I don't really think I have any other questions at this point.
So, would you like to know how easy it is to actually get started?
Okay. I don't know if I'm ready, but I'm sure you can tell me how easy it is to get started.
Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you are 100% ready to do this, and 1 being, you know what, I got to think about it, and I'm not quite there yet. And I'm not going to, no, but thank you for asking or giving me this information. Where do you kind of find yourself with the business?
I'm probably an 8.5 to a 9.
Okay. Yeah. So that's close enough to a 10, right? So let me, oh man. Okay. So sorry about that. So now we're going back to this out of interview mode, guys. Now we're going back to the questions. Okay. So one of the things, when are you thinking you would want to get paid next? I mean, if you decided to get started, what are you thinking you would want to get paid? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I'm ready. I just don't know how long I don't know, how long it takes to get up and going, but I'm ready to get going as soon as I can.
So usually what I do is I have you look at your calendar and we schedule your first show. It's your kickoff show. So if you can get your calendar out, the biggest thing is in the next 2 weeks, if you can come up with a date, maybe like 5 days out to 8 days out, when you would want to do your first kickoff show. And you could do 2. What was that?
I've got
March 14th. Okay. And, one of the things, you could even do 2 because you have friends that might be stay-at-home moms. So you could do 1 in the daytime for the moms that have the kids.
Yeah, I can invite all my playgroup moms.
Or,
I'm losing you.
The kids are in preschool. Or, Karen, did you freeze?
I didn't think I was freezing. I thought you were freezing, but I'm sure I look frozen on your end. But now I'm with you.
Okay. So if you had to pick the 2 dates, you have the 14th. Is there another date that you'd feel comfortable maybe doing? And it's just to get more practice.
You know what?
Okay, I didn't hear you, but
our playgroup meets on Thursday mornings, so I could probably do something on Thursday morning with all the playgroup moms. And then I could do
Perfect.
Friday evening.
Okay, so you would have the Thursday and Friday, so that's perfect. And then so you have those two shows, and then the biggest thing is looking at like maybe calling your two sisters and seeing if they're maybe interested in doing something. But the one thing I wanted to talk to you about is how we make certain that you get the flexibility. So it's kind of like how to control your calendar, because you're in control of it. No one's telling you when to work. You control when you want to work. So looking at your calendar for the next month, I want you to kind of look through it, cross off the dates that you definitely can't work.
Okay.
And then out of that, are there a couple days or 3 days a week that look like you could work or do your business?
Yep, I'm looking, and I can count like when my husband's working, so he'll be home at night when he's off. So I can just basically, his schedule changes every week, but I know what the dates are, so I can just kind of follow that schedule, and that'd be perfect.
Yeah, so the biggest thing right now is, as you call your sister, you want to look at your first date. So give me your first date besides your grand opening or your kickoffs.
After the
What's your
14th,
first?
I've got the 21st, I've got the 20th and the 22nd.
Okay, so the 20th. So what you'll do is, what's your sister's name?
Barbara.
Barbara. So you're going to give Barbara a call, and you're going to just say that that you're excited about this new business. And what you can actually do is start with that date and ask her, would you let me come over and practice for you and your friends, and you get free stuff, a free shopping spree with Pampered Chef. And it would really help me if you would do the 20th. Would that work for you?
Yeah.
And if she says, oh, the 20th definitely won't work with me, go to the next date.
Okay.
So you want to control your calendar. If you go to the person and you say, I am going to, whatever day works for you, they're going to see 31 days in the month of March, and they're going to be overwhelmed, and they're never going to come up with a date. But if you say, what about the 20th or the 21st, which one works best, or 22nd, which one works best for you, they're going to actually have a decision, and it's just 2 dates. So it makes it easy.
That makes sense.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, you have your 2 kickoff shows scheduled. The one thing, I'm going to give you this list of 40 guests in 4 minutes, and this is what I do. I give it to my host. What I'd like you to do is kind of go through each category and start to write some names down, and then you're gonna you can call your sisters maybe in the next day, and then we can touch base maybe tomorrow and see how it's going, and what your sister said, and then we'll look at your list of 40, and maybe I can help you with the next couple. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, I can do that. I've got some time to do that tonight, and I know my sister's around tonight, so.
Yeah, and what I like to do is I like to help you in smaller increments go through scheduling your shows, just because it can be a little overwhelming calling lots of people if you see 40 names. So we're going to just call your sisters, and then we'll talk tomorrow, and then we'll talk about a couple more people, and I can help you with some words. Does that sound like a good plan?
That sounds doable. I can do that. Yes.
Okay. Done. So, okay, any questions, everyone? Everyone left. I don't see people.
They're still here, and actually there's 6 of them.
Oh, I see a thumb. So, does anyone, did you follow along in the little booklet?
With the stickers?
Did you see how the labels hit each of the pages? Did everyone?
Are you guys there? Can you unmute?
Anyone?
Muted.
Can you guys unmute? Anyone?
Okay, I want to make a couple of comments. When it comes to this sheet, did you notice that Rose was like taking notes as she talked to me? And I would suggest that you do that too. Write the name of the recruit at the top, write their information in there, and then when you come home, 3-hole punch it and put it into a binder so you can keep track of all your leads. and take notes right on there, so that you can remember when you're following up with them, all the notes that you took and things like that. Also, another tip that I got from Joanne Wilhelm is after you put the stickers in the Join Us brochure, cut the corner off the one that you stuck the stickers on so you never mistakenly give it away.
That's brilliant.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a good
Your
idea.
copy. So when you're going to an interview, have two of, if it's a live interview, have two of these. You hold this one and your lead holds the other one, and you can kind of follow along. Or if you're doing it over the phone or via Zoom. I do a lot of interviews via Zoom right now. You can have your copy in front of you and you don't get mixed up and give it away the show.
Perfect. Okay. So the other thing that I added, and if you guys can just write it into your Come Join Us brochure, it was on this last page. I don't know. Can you guys see?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's on the last page. And what it is after I do 10A, where I say most people look for direct sales as a good part-time income, and then I said, did you realize that less than 10%? So if you guys want to write this down, or else should I just post it on the, like, type it in, Karen? What do you think?
Either one.
Okay. So it's less than 10% of women in America make a 6-digit income. But of those that do make the 6-digit income, 80% of them are in direct sales.
Mel just posted that
Okay.
Zoom isn't letting her unmute. So she was trying to unmute and couldn't.
No, if you have questions, you can just type them. Okay. So everyone just kind of, hopefully you were able to follow along. And the biggest thing is the assignment is from now until the end of the Fast Track series. We'd like you to schedule at least one interview per week and use your director for the first 3 to 4. Yeah, I know it's scary, but you're probably thinking, where am I going to come up with these, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's okay, Carol, because what you're going to do is until you do a show and you actually have some leads, you can actually do mock interviews.
Okay.
So you can call your sister or your mother or your friend, and you could say, I need to practice. I've been challenged, and I have an assignment that I need to do 1 a week. So would you let me and my director, Lisa Lloyd, it's Lisa Lloyd, right? Yeah? Okay. Would you want me to actually, could we practice with you and do this 3-way interview? And then you're going to have Lisa do the first 3 or 4, and you're going to follow along. So you're going to see real life how they work, and have them give challenges. And then when you actually start meeting these leads, you're going to know who it is. So, but the biggest thing is talk to your director before your next show, get their schedule, know what their availability show. I give them the Come Join Us brochure. I actually write, just stick on there, and I say, your time, we'll talk on this date, the time, and then I write, I will call you. And so I let everyone know that. And when you talk to the people, just let them know that you're new at talking to people. So you have someone who helps you with your business, and they're going to actually do it. I don't like to say my director, but I would say something like, I have a friend that's helping me with the Pampered Chef that has a lot of experience, and she's going to probably be doing the call, leading the call, but I'll be on there too, and we'll be able to answer some questions. Don't make a big deal about it, but just, when you talk to them, just...
My friend Lisa, who's been working with me, she's been doing this forever. She's great. I'd love to have her on the call just to make sure you get all the information you need.
Yeah. And that's it. So any questions? Because I think I've gone 45 minutes. 47.
The first couple, you follow along while your director does it?
Yes.
Well, I guess it depends on where you are in your business too. If you've never, ever, ever done an interview before, let the director do the first couple and you're following along on the outline. After that, like the next 1 or 2, you can be doing it with your director, just kind of listening in. and chiming in and supporting you if you say, you know, hey, I need clarification on that. Can you jump in? And then after that, if you're feeling comfortable, go ahead and after that, you know, be doing them on your own with the talking to your director first to say, okay, I got this lead interview that I'm going to be doing. Here's where I met the person. Here's what I know about her so far. Here's what I'm thinking her hesitations might be. And here's some solutions that I've got. Things like that.
Yeah, and Mel, I wanted to address your concern, I guess, that you said in the 7 months that you've been doing this, you've only had one recruit lead. But I wanted to ask you, and I just you don't have to answer it out loud if you don't want to, but the whole objective of this is to be a little more intentional with your business. And if you think back to all the shows that you did, have you asked everyone at every show?
Yeah, so Michelle thinks it's very odd.
Okay. And
I do a full service checkout, and Michelle and I, like, we go over, particularly around talking about the business. The past couple months, we've been dissecting it a little bit more. So she thinks it's just odd that I think I should say I had one recruit, and I had two other people that took a nibble, but that's all I had. So, and those nibbles weren't very serious. So Michelle, she goes, okay, it's a numbers game. Let's just keep remembering that. You just happen to be getting all your no's in the beginning.
Yeah.
So,
and I definitely got a lot of no's in the beginning. And I remember looking at other people and saying, what, she asked one person and they sign up on their team. I'm on number 11. So, you know, that does happen.
Daddy.
Yeah, it does happen. But, you know, one of the things we started to do it, and Karen, I don't know if, or Mel, I don't know if you went to a new consultant training lately, or Karen, you're using that new thing that Julie Aldridge taught us at the new consultant training. Are you teaching them with the recipe cards now? Karen Benning?
To give out the recipe cards during the Q&A?
Yeah.
It's just a new idea that I only did a couple weeks ago. So
okay, so you know there's some new techniques that we're learning now that actually might help you, and you know Michelle knows about it. So
it's also the subject of next week's call.
Oh, it is. Okay, perfect. Okay.
Generating interest. So.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so we'll be doing it. So this week, Mel, why don't you just do a mock interview with one of your friends or family members? Or what I suggest is pick someone who you would love to work with that you're friends with, and then have them do it, because stranger things have happened. People will hear it and say, oh, that's not what I thought it was all about. And then they might join your team. Yeah. So definitely take advantage of that. And
yeah, is like, yeah.
Yeah. And then do the mock interview. And next week we're going to focus on areas in your show, outside of your show, that you can really get people excited about and learning more. Does that help?
As far as the mock interview, the wording, I said, you know, you call and just say, I'm part of this group that's being trained to be the next field leaders for Pampered Chef. And one of my assignments is to kind of have a mock interview, you know, someone who wants to learn more about the business, kind of telling them about it. So would you let me practice on you? Because I have to have at least one mock interview a week. So, you know, who's going to say no to that? You know, and you can offer to take them out for a cup of coffee, you know, if you want.
Karen, can you send me that bit, or can you, what you just said, can you send that or post it?
Post that wording? Yes.
Yeah.
If I forget, just send me a friendly little email reminding me.
Yeah. I'm going to send you a message on Facebook right now.
Well, I've got 4 squares already opened up at the bottom here that I have to address as soon as we hang up. So, yes, but I'll be happy to post that. Are you guys excited about this little outline, how it just kind of walks you through everything? And like anything else, the more you practice, the more natural it becomes, and you'll find your own voice. This is just a jumping off point. The more you do it, the easier and natural it becomes.
And the biggest thing is you're human. So even if you make mistakes, it shows that you're human, and it will also be somewhat even appealing. If you're too polished, as I'm not, and I think I recruit Okay, pretty good. So, I make a lot of mistakes, and people are probably thinking, wow, if she can do this, I can do this. So, that's the thing. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to stutter if you do a little bit. Don't be afraid to forget to take a breath and go, wait, okay, I'm ready. Okay, oh, wait, and lose your thought. I've done interviews before where I've dropped papers and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And,
Tonight, yeah.
yeah, like I do tonight. So actually that was planned, just so you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? See, didn't I make it for you guys to think, wow, if she can do this,
Very
I
good.
can do this? Yeah, it's all planned. I have it down. So with that, I'm done. Karen, are you done?
We'll stop the recording.